guys are so funny. You're trying to get me to do this stupid shit. And
she just whispered, "I'm a bad bitch," for anyone who didn't hear. Stop. 420.
I'm lit at Disney.
And the kids asleep in the bath.
There we go. A ball sack station.
That's what a business owner looks like. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tattoo Homewreckers, a podcast where we talk about tattoos, life, and everything in between. Mostly everything in between. My name is Callista, and I've got my very best friend Lou sitting right next to me.
That's me.
We're so excited to start this episode. But
we
before
are.
we do it, what does your gender feel like today?
A kite.
A kite?
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm a rainbow kite.
A rainbow kite?
Because I am.
Ha! Ha!
Ha!
I love that.
So I have Doritos.
Yum.
That our friend brought over while we were rhinestoning.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Necro. Also, if you don't follow like any like drag queens that we talk about, I'll make sure that I drop everyone's like socials down in the like show notes because you should follow all of them because they're all spectacular.
You need to.
We were helping rhinestone, and for payment we got Doritos, and I'm high, so I want a snack. And you're gonna read to me.
I'm going to read to you.
So what does your gender feel like today?
My gender feels like a little thread sticking out of somebody's pants. Still attached, but, you know, she's like...
Just doing her own thing.
Yeah, doing her own thing.
That was me crunching.
Oh, okay. I was like, what was that?
What was crunching? Oh, no, that was Bailey. Okay.
Amazing.
So, as we said last week, we want to do another episode of Am I the Asshole? Because everyone loved that. Mm-hmm. And you got to give the people what they want.
Period. And also, it's fun for us, too.
Yeah, it's super fun. I loved it.
Okay, are you ready for this? I'm going to take a sip, and then we can get going.
Perfect. I'm going to take a nibble.
Take a nibble. Okay. Am I the asshole for calling my boyfriend an idiot because he won't get a colonoscopy even though his mom had colon cancer?
No. Your boyfriend's an idiot. He should go get a colonoscopy. So
my boyfriend, 33-year-old male, has a family history of colorectal cancer.
Uh-huh.
His mom was diagnosed in her early 40s, and it was really bad. She survived, but it was a long, awful ordeal. He was old enough to remember it. Because of that, his doctor told him he should start colonoscopies earlier than most people. He's technically overdue for his first one, and lately he's had some weird stomach problems. I've been telling him for a year to get it checked out. He keeps saying things like, it's embarrassing, I'm too young, what if they find something bad? Like, ... Yeah, that's the point of the test. The other night, we got into it because he mentioned again that his stomach has been bothering him. I told him point blank, you're being an idiot. Your mom went through hell with this and you're ignoring your chance to be healthy. I also said that if he won't take care of himself, I don't know if I can plan a long-term future with him because I don't want to lose a partner to something that could have been caught early. He got really upset and accused me of being controlling and dramatic. Now he's barely speaking to me. I feel like I was harsh, but honestly, I'm scared. The news has story after story, people dying from this because they ignored it for too long. People his age, too. I'd rather him be mad at me than bury him in 10 years. Am I the asshole for calling him an idiot and making this an ultimatum?
You are not the asshole. I understand that he is scared, so he's avoiding it, but also you should not avoid, like, health, like, scares like that. And the whole point is to, like, yeah, it's scary that they're gonna possibly like see something, but the earlier they catch it, the better off you are.
Yep.
But I actually think that this is just the larger like patriarchal issue of women having to do the emotional labor for men and also being responsible for your spouse's health.
Yep.
It's something that like I'm definitely guilty of, and like with Caboose, I'm always yelling at him about eating veggies.
Totally.
And I've been like that with friends as well. And I had to recently release the fact that now, granted, it is slightly different when you have, like, in our case, like, your health does affect me because it also affects our business. Same as mine affects yours.
Right.
And my spouse, because I'm financially tied to this
Bound
person.
to this person, yeah.
So beyond just the normal level of, like, dude, it sucks to have someone who's not taking care of themselves. There's also that financial responsibility of, like, okay, so if you live in the States and he gets cancer, there's a solid chance you go bankrupt. Like, it's a big deal.
I also think there's this, like, propaganda around this idea that cancer is something that you can't control, which in some cases, maybe yes. But in a lot of cases, this is an instance where you can control the outcome of it. If you catch it early enough, you are able to actually like come up with more of a plan than having to, like she said, bury her spouse in 10 years. And that whole idea too that like, oh, well, like cancer just comes for anyone. Well, you're ignoring the idea that like, not the idea, but the reality that there are so many things that you can do that will prevent you from getting cancer.
There are also lots of things that can like mitigate it. So if you do get it, it's not severe.
Yeah, exactly. And like your actions directly affect your health, whether you like can see it right away or not. And so it does frustrate me when people think that like, oh no, it's just like, it's all fine and dandy, but like in all reality, everything that you do in regards to your health is a vote for what your future is going to look like.
Absolutely.
It's like the substance, you know? Yes. Like, again, you cannot, like, you need to like advocate for older you, put sunscreen on you, and I don't know, eat fruits and veggies, try not to drink as much alcohol, et cetera, et cetera.
And honestly, you shouldn't make it your fucking girlfriend's fault. Or sorry, her problem. You shouldn't make it her problem, nor is this her fault. This is someone who's like, hey, I care about you and I'm worried about these habits. And again, I don't want to listen to you bitch about having repetitive problems and not do anything to fix them.
That's probably why she snapped. Like it wasn't obviously her go-to.
Numerous times
that your stomach's bothering
you. Your stomach's bothering you. Yeah. And then you're like, hey, actually, I'm just going to keep like complaining about this and not doing anything. Nah, dog, if like, again, I understand if it's scary. The whole it's embarrassing. Shut the fuck up. Everyone has a butthole. Like,
yeah, come on.
And again, these doctors don't give a shit. It's the same notion of like, oh, it's embarrassing to go to the gynecologist. Your gynecologist doesn't give a shit.
No, it's embarrassing to get like your downstairs waxed. No, people like waxers see that shit every day. It's no, it's not. It's honestly as embarrassing as it would be going to the dentist to get your teeth checked up. That's what they're paid to do. That's what they specialize in. That's what they've devoted their career to.
Going to get your hair cut.
Yeah.
It's just their job. They don't care.
No.
Like, this person does not care, and they are happy to like have you have a clear scan, and then they care about helping people
they're
who
also
don't
happy
have a
to,
clear scan.
Yeah, catch shit early.
Well, I was gonna
they're
say,
saving
not,
your life.
Yeah, they're not happy about seeing something, but they're like happy that they can help you.
Exactly, right? Because like, what's the alternative is like, yeah, again, it's too late, and then you end up like just like your mom, and like hopefully survive. Like she still survived, but like again, it's a brutal cancer. It's not something that you want.
And also, if you think that getting colon cancer won't mean that people see your butt more often than if you just got a colonoscopy, you would be mistaken. Because once there's a problem down there, everyone's seeing that thing.
Yeah, and I understand that her boyfriend doesn't realize he's being selfish, but like, again, a lot of people enter this idea of like, oh, this partnership means that I can still act the way that I acted when I was single. And that is not the case. Like, even right down to your fucking health and what you eat every day. If you are going into a lifelong partnership with someone, you want to make sure that like you are still being better for each other, not for the romantic sake of like we make each other better and she makes me want to be better, but the idea that like we are in this for the long run, which means that if I don't take care of my health, then it's going to be her responsibility and vice versa.
Yeah, if you die, she's the person that has to live on without you.
Yeah. Or if like even right before you die, if you spend 10 years of your life in a wheelchair because you didn't take care of your diet, then like again, like
she's now your caregiver.
Affects her quality of life as well.
And I think something you said is kind of what like I see here, which is that like she makes me want to be better. It's like, or she makes me like be better. Is that like, no, dude, like you should just be around people that like just by knowing them. You are driven to be a better version of yourself, both emotionally and physically. And this person can like give you that reminder. Like, I get you're probably not talking to her because you're a fucking dickwad and she triggered you and you wanted to just avoid it. And living with someone who's avoidant, I understand that if you just want to avoid it, you want to avoid it. But you chose someone who won't let you avoid things for a reason.
Yeah.
So maybe like, I don't know, not being a dick and being like, hey, thanks for bringing up something that I've been avoiding. I need to handle this.
Totally.
Like, and I'm scared, and whatever it is you need in that moment, like that's on you.
Instead of the idea, too, that, like, you're attacking this problem by yourself and it's going to be such a shameful thing, opening up the platform to, like, we're going to tackle it on together.
Yeah.
And asking for support is a much better way to go about things than being like, well, you're just controlling me. No, she cares about your health, so.
I think he's being a emotional asshole because he's avoiding.
She's not the asshole at all.
No.
Okay, next story. Am I the asshole for letting my husband's license expire?
No.
Me, I, 33-year-old female, chose not to remind my husband, 34-year-old male, that he needed to renew his driver's license on the last day of the month. The postcard was mailed to us 2 months in advance and had been sitting on our dining room table next to his place for weeks. He asked me to compile documents, which I hadn't done the week his license was to expire. It has now expired, and I told him I chose not to remind him. When he asked why, I advised I wasn't his mother, and he's an adult who can remember to renew his license. Was I too harsh, thereby being an asshole? Background: we have been married almost 9 years and known each other since middle school. I typically manage appointments and our calendar, as well as portals for all things. I do our taxes, etc., etc.
Ooh.
I can't wait to hear
I need to know a couple things out of that.
Okay.
Because if you agreed to find those documents and source those documents, and then you just didn't do it, you're the asshole. If you did not set the new precedent for your relationship, which is that, hey, I understand, I handle all of our appointments.
Yeah.
And but I, am burdened by this. This is too much for my mental load. I would like for you to step up to handling your own appointments. If you did not explain that you are restructuring your relationship and the dynamics between you, that's fucked. You are the asshole. That would be the same as like, you handle social media, I handle our accounts.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden you just expected me to do all of our social media, so no one's getting responded to, no stories are happening, nothing's going on, you would be an asshole because you couldn't be like, well, it's your business too. You should handle it. And if all of a sudden I just stopped like doing any of our accounts, wasn't making sure that bills were going through, wasn't making sure that like payroll was happening.
Yep.
I would be the asshole if then you're like, dude, you haven't like done payroll. I'm like, you run half this business.
Yeah. So
you know how to do that?
Yeah, exactly.
No, it means that like he's an asshole or he's mad forgetful and he'll have to deal with the ramifications of it. If he was like, cool, I understand we're restructuring our relationship, but I do have a feeling she did not actually discuss that because that is one of the trappings of like when you've held the mental load for your relationship. It feels a lot like saying, I don't want to have to tell you what to do. I don't want to give you a list, that whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you have to give a list. As someone who's like, do not ask me for a list, I'm not giving you one.
Totally.
You don't need to give him the list, but bringing him up to date on like, hey, I no longer wish to be in charge of these. Like Caboose and I did that shit with the girls a couple years ago where our relationship was very much like anything that was within the house, I was handling.
Yeah.
And that meant like our laundry, our bills, our dogs, like everything, like our mortgage, all of that shit I was handling. And he basically got to just be like, gravy, I contribute financially. We have some sex. That's about it. And a couple years ago, I was like, hey, dude, we've gotten into the same patterns as like so many cis-het relationships where the woman does everything and the man gets to kind of check the fuck out. Yeah. This is not fair. It was set up like that because he traveled on the road for a long time and he was also in the military and he was gone for a long time. But then when he was around, I never was like, yo, you got to step the fuck up. And he was never like, yo, I got to step the fuck up because he's like, this is good. She likes doing all of it. I like not doing it. Perfect. And so a couple years ago, I was like, I'm just going to not do stuff. And then we ended up that place where I was like, oh, cool. Now stuff's not getting done. But I never specified, hey, I should probably loop you in on this. Because I was like, I'm not giving you a fucking list. Because you'd be like, give me a list, give me a list, give me a list. And then we sat down with Fair Play. And we went through the cards. And the first couple times we did it, it didn't fucking work. Because unlike where she is like, don't go through like, don't compare the cards, what you currently have, just go through and set a new precedent. That didn't work for me. I was like, no, I need you to see that I am doing like 90% of these cards and you aren't, because that's the only way for you to repair the amount I've done.
Yep.
And so at that point, you know, we had to go through layers of like defensiveness. And then I had learned also to like go through layers of like not being in control and like doing that. And at this point, I don't feed the dogs. He feeds the dogs. I like, if he's running late, he better tell me to feed the dogs because that's not my thing. I don't know to do it. And so if he needs me to do something that's like one of his like chores, same as he books all their vet appointments, I don't do that. So if I notice that something's wrong, I'm like, hey, this is happening. And he books the appointment and he books it for when he can get off, or he will make sure like, hey, is this time available? So because we sat down and said, this is the restructure of our fucking relationship, he now knows the new rules. And if you didn't tell him the new rules, you're the asshole.
Yeah.
If you did tell him, he might be an asshole. He might just be forgetful. I'll let shit expire. I'm bad at that.
Yeah. And at that point, like, well, you can't really get mad at the other person for reminding you when it's like, oh, it was my job and I forgot.
Yeah. Well, I also think that if anyone reminds you, you should just say thank you.
Yeah, totally.
As someone who walks around as like a human reminder a lot, saying thank you goes a really, really far way.
Totally, because then it absolves you from feeling like a nag. You know,
Yes.
like that's like I feel like every woman has had to deal with this pivotal fear in the relationship of like, I don't want to be the nagging girlfriend or I don't want to be the nagging wife. And like even like in friendships, I don't want to be the nagging friend, like the woman, you know.
Well, I also think that for me, like when you remind me of stuff that I forget, saying thank you also moves me from a place of shame for not remembering it for myself. And like saying thank you out loud moves me into a place of we work together as a team. And it's also okay if I don't remember.
Oh, absolutely.
But if I just hold it on the inside, even though I can be like grateful that you did it, there will be a part of me that's like, oh, I can't believe I forgot. I'm completely shameful here. Like genuinely, technically yesterday's payroll day. I need to do payroll. And I only remembered while I was talking to you to be like, oh yeah, I've like reminded myself 4 fucking times yesterday and today. And now I remember. But
that's
now
okay.
that I say it
I
out loud, I'm
posted
like,
in a
hey.
couple days. To be fair, it's only been like a couple days since we've gotten back from like Auckland, and a mini convention does take a lot out of us.
It does, yeah.
Because pack out day is like pack in day and pack out day are still stressful. So that's one day, right?
Yeah.
Normally in conventions we get a day where it's so chill because we just stroll in and we don't have to pack in or pack out.
Yeah, you get to just like tattoo and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like that one day makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
But the fact that we had to do it all in one day was a lot, and then also travel.
100%.
You know,
Yeah. And I do feel better knowing that you also haven't done.
No,
well, you
social
did
media.
you literally just posted a reel.
Yeah, again, because it's been like a couple days and I went, oh my God, it's been forever. And then I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, it's been one day. But yeah, I think like just saying thank you, especially if you feel like your partner reminds you of stuff a lot, is that if they're reminding you, this kind of goes back to that first one, is that if your partner and or your friends are reminding you of something,
Yes.
it's because it's something that matters to them. And you might not understand what it is. So then asking questions to be like, hey, why is that a big deal? If you're friends with me, I'm going to talk to you about why you need to eat fruits and veggies. Because I find that if I talk to you about why, then when I nag you all the time, you're less like cunty about it. But like you guys saw a couple weeks ago when I brought up how I like fixing feet, because that's like a really big element of our health and about like longevity of life is like, if you fuck up your feet, like that's a real hard thing to like deal with later in life. And Callie was like, oh God, here we go again, in a really sweet joking way. But it's because like that part of being like enjoying your life in the older years, because if you're fortunate enough to get old, let's make sure we enjoy it, is maintaining and protecting ourselves now.
Totally.
And that is a core value for me. So like I can't have like deep relationships with people that do not think about like how what they're doing now could affect what's going to happen later. And that's not to say that you can't have fun. You can't, I mean, I'm over here eating Doritos and having a drink, but it is to be like, hey, we need to like make sure we're also eating good stuff.
Yeah, totally.
And
Absolutely.
also exercising and making sure that like those little niggling pains now get worked out.
Absolutely. 100%. I think that like, that to me was a surprising one because my knee-jerk reaction is like, no, you're not the asshole, but you're right. There's a lot of caveats of like, if you're all of a sudden changing the rules in your relationship, you actually, that's the hard thing about relationships, right? Is like everyone always says communication. But like sometimes the way you communicate things like isn't exactly correct. So like if that's the first instance of like, yeah, I just let it expire even though I knew, maybe we should have like, instead of having a direct example, sat down and be like, it's too much for me.
Yep.
And so your appointments are yours, mine are mine, and let's just call it good at that point. You know? So yeah.
100%.
Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for our friend's now broken iPhone and sunglasses that our son broke?
Ooh. Is there
What's
more to
your first
that?
impression? Yeah. Which is your first impression?
Your kid broke it and it's your friend's and you don't want to pay for it, you're the asshole.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
I haven't read this, so it's also my first time reading these. I'm a 28-year-old female and my husband is 32 years old. Our son in question is 6 months old. Whenever someone holds him, we warn them that they'll try to, or holds them, we warn them that they'll try to grab your glasses or phone and sometimes even your hair. We're trying to break this habit, but, he's 6 months old. So now I warned my husband that a friend of mine, a 33-year-old female, let's call her Jean, came to visit and wants to hold, which we didn't mind at all. I warned her about it all, saying, oh, best taking your sunglasses off your head, he'll grab them. Now, these are Gucci sunglasses costing almost 800 pounds, which to me is a crazy amount of money for sunglasses, but to each their own. Mm-hmm. And she rolled her eyes at me and accused me of hogging my own baby. I warned her again, and she said, it's fine. So she stood holding him, took her phone out wanting to take a selfie, which again, I'm fine with as long as it's not posted. I don't want a pic of him online as of yet. And he, of course, grabbed her sunglasses, got excited as he got them, waved his hands about the sunglasses, and they flew. She screamed, scaring him. He panicked and flailed, hitting her iPhone to the floor. I quickly took him as she was freaking out. She says I need to buy her a new iPhone 16 and replace her sunglasses or give her the money for them, which is 2,300 pounds. I said, we can't pay that as it's not even my monthly wage. Plus, I'm on maternity, but also I don't feel like I should as you ignored my warnings. Mm-hmm. I'm called heartless for not being more understanding of her being upset. I was more concerned with calming down my son. My husband just shrugged, telling her I did warn her. I fixed the issue.
I'm the husband.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so am I the asshole? So.
Your opinion?
I don't know if this is my upbringing playing a part in this, but regardless of me warning somebody or doing that, there's a part of me that needs to step in and say I will pay for them just because, my kid did break them, even though I warned them a lot about it. But I would be frustrated about paying for them for sure. I would probably just make sure that, my friend doesn't hold my son again at that point.
Which is a whole level, of people pleasing that then ends in resentment.
Ends up in resentment, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So with that information and now that I have, unfortunately it's A, we don't have the money. Mm-hmm. B, I did warn you several times. And C, you screamed in my son's face and he's 6 months old. So that's kind of fucking crazy. So yeah, I don't know. I would say she's not the asshole.
Oh, 100%. This is why I like to give my first opinion and then we get more story. Mm-hmm. Because 100% she is not the asshole. Because if I tell you, hey, there's a solid chance that I wouldn't have your sunglasses. I wouldn't hold your phone. If I were holding a friend's kid and they rip the sunglasses off or they knock my phone out and my phone breaks. Now, to be clear, if I'm holding it and that happens, I'm not asking my friend to pay for anything. Mm-hmm. When I thought it was an older kid and they broke it, mm-hmm. Yeah, I would be for sure. I'm still, now that's with my upbringing, I'm not going to ask someone to pay for shit for me. But the moment that I get a warning mm-hmm. that that can happen, if I was the friend, I would be apologizing for screaming in your kid's face, being you are so right. I for sure should not have kept my sunglasses on. Mm-hmm. I am so sorry that I scared you and baby. Mm-hmm. Also, you're doing too much. Don't take a selfie with a 6-month-old. I need both hands on baby. Unless you are the actual mother, mm-hmm. we are not taking selfies. Both hands are holding. Mm-hmm. Because at that point, you're freaking me out.
Totally.
But no, I think that that lady is if she got upset for you not paying, she's the asshole.
Yeah.
Also, but you're not the asshole.
Oh, accusing her of hogging her own baby is crazy.
Yeah, no, fuck off. This is my baby.
It's literally my child.
I literally made it. Yeah. Mine.
Yeah, no.
No, 100% not.
I would say not the asshole again. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where she also warned her very adequately, I think.
Oh, yeah. If you warn me, I'm going to trust you. And then if I don't, that's my own fault.
Yeah.
I should buy you an iPhone at that point. And a new baby.
And a new child. Absolutely. Okay. Am I the asshole for asking my brother to not go on a trip with us?
I am so excited for this.
My aunt moved to another state last year. It was hard, and me and my mom have missed her terribly. My mom and I started planning a trip to go visit her in March around my birthday. Originally, it was supposed to be my mom, me and my husband, and our 2 children. When we were planning, we included my brother as we were making a budget to see how much each of us would have to save for shared expenses like the Airbnb, mm-hmm. gas, and food, as well as any souvenirs that we might want. My brother said that he didn't think he would be able to make it work with his schedule, so he would pass.
Yep.
Also, he and my aunt have never been close, so they barely tolerate each other and always end up getting into a fight. Mm-hmm. Suddenly last week, my brother says he's going to see if he can make it work so he can come with us. I was taken aback. He has shown no interest in going, and the more we talked about, the more clear he made it that he had no interest in paying his fair share. I did the math and told him how much his share of the Airbnb was, which was already booked, by the way, and he laughed and said, "It's cool, Mom will cover me." Mind you, this grown boy works a full-time job, doesn't pay rent, pays no bills, nothing. He lives totally free and clear. He kept talking about all the stuff he wanted to go do, places he wanted to see, and every time I reminded him it cost money, he would just come back with, "It's cool, you or Mom can pay. The kids would love it anyway." That's when I finally snapped. I told him if he wasn't going to pay his fair share of things, then he wasn't going. This wasn't a free vacation for him. He huffed off and has been avoiding me. Reactions seem pretty split. Our stepdad and mom agrees with me that I was in the right, but his friends and select family members he's told say I'm being a jerk, telling him he can't go see his aunt. So am I the asshole?
Okay, to be clear, you're not saying he can't see his aunt. You're just saying he can't come with you.
Yeah, it's really
That's
funny.
called boundaries, bitch.
I was about to say, the story that your brother is telling the family members that agree with him is that you don't want him to go and see his aunt, not, oh, I just won't let him basically have a free vacation.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Also, this is what happens when you spoil your kids.
Yeah, that they're like, oh, I can just do it then.
Yeah,
I
don't
always
worry,
get to
Mom's
do
got
it.
me. That's when Mom should have a discussion.
Of
Once
like-
again, these are the new rules. You are not a child anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I am not going to pay for you. That's really shitty that you would assume that other people, and that's my bad for paying for you and not, like, explaining the value of this to you. But the way we work now is that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Also, like, there's a select amount of time that you had to agree to go on this trip. So unfortunately, it's already done. It's already booked and it's
And
already
I don't like last minute stuff. I don't like last minute people getting added to stuff. I don't like last minute like someone coming over if I don't know they're coming out. Like
Totally.
I need to prepare. So not just for like the financial part, but like this woman's obviously already done all the prep work of like figuring out the finances for everyone and the budget and like what they're going to do. So then to throw a whole extra person in the mix there, no.
It fucks up the whole like flow of things. Also, like, so what? Like, even if he could pay for his fair share, she's gonna have to refund a certain amount of money to the people who have already put money down.
Yeah.
Like, and then you're doing more math.
Or is he
and
doing
more.
that? He's going around being like, okay, I pay you this. I pay that.
I really
that's too
doubt that
much.
that's what's gonna happen.
Well, especially because he wasn't even planning on paying.
No, he wasn't even planning.
Because, like, Mom will get me. Like, excuse you?
Yeah. So,
No.
I mean, not the asshole, especially your brother's the asshole
Yeah,
because
your brother's a brat.
he's not being considerate of the timing of things because, again, I also don't like a impromptu, like, person being added to the trip just because it completely changes the vibe. It's really hard for me to switch gears as well to, like, if I am mentally preparing to spend this time with my friends for another person to be added, that's another energy. It like all the mental preparation I have to grieve over that.
Yeah.
And then I also have to mentally prepare for this new person. So that's like a neurospicy thing. But yeah, she's not the asshole.
100% not. Like, your brother's kind of a brat. And that's where I will be like, okay, Mom also needs to have this conversation with him. And hopefully did, since she's on your side. What else we got?
Okay, am I the asshole for not wanting the puppy my boyfriend brought for me as a birthday present? For context, I'm a 27-year-old female and have always had pet dogs, cats, and even birds that fell from their nests. I've rescued and rehomed a ton of animals, but I've never kept a male pet. My mom didn't like them because of the whole peeing everywhere thing. Plus, I guess I just got used to only having girl pets. I love using my dogs like pillows, and I'll admit the doggy boy parts are always a little too present and makes me uncomfortable.
Same. Did I write this?
Anyway, I've had my dog, Luna, since I was 17. She's my baby, and she 100% rules my life. She's not really friendly with kids, other dogs, or most men, but she at least kind of likes my boyfriend, who's a 31-year-old male of 2 years. So my birthday was a couple weeks ago. My boyfriend told me he had a surprise, but it wasn't ready yet. Last Friday, I came home from work and found him in my apartment with a 2-month-old-ish German Shepherd male puppy that he bought, complete with a balloon tied to its collar that said, "Happy Birthday." He smiled and said, "Do you like him? He's our new son."
Nope. We broke up. And that was the day that our relationship ended.
And that was a day that I never saw him again.
Yep.
I was shocked, and the only words that came out were, "Where's Luna?" He had locked my dog in the bathroom because she growled at the puppy. I was furious. We argued for about 2 hours. I told him to take the puppy back with him and not to come back.
Hopefully she put the puppy in the bathroom and let Luna out. No offense against the puppy.
Yeah.
But he's a puppy. You throw him in there with some toys.
Totally.
But do not leave
fine.
Luna in there. Luna needs to be with you when you're fighting this dude.
Yes.
So she can bite him.
Exactly. And he yelled some more and called me a misandrist before leaving. Because apparently not wanting male pets equals hating men.
Okay, but that's not what misandry is. Misandry is not... This is not the same. Misandry is not patriarchy. Like, misandry is based on equality. Oh my god.
He also said...
It's not fucking... Sorry, misogyny. Misogyny is not the same as misandry. You fucking tool.
He also said I was weird for being uncomfortable around dogs' pee-pees.
Okay, well,
it's fine
look,
to be
here's the thing. I'm weird about that.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're weird for that. I think that you, again, have preferences. I know plenty of people that have only ever had boy dogs and, like, speak about girl dogs like they're the most vile, toxic thing because they'll talk about them going in heat. And if you've ever had a dog go in heat, don't get me wrong, it is weird. Waffles went into heat once when we first got her as a puppy because we got her and then we moved around a bunch. And before we knew it had been, like, several months that we had her. Completely forgot that we had not had her fixed. Because our other ones were like immediately fixed, or like more accurately, Guinness was fixed before we got her. Bailey was fixed like a week and a half later. So with Waffles, because like that wasn't set up, we went through like her first like heat cycle with her, and it was insane. And like both Caboose and I were weirded out because her little girl parts got huge, her nipples got huge, she bled places. Was not what we were expecting.
Yeah, it sucks.
We were both like, oh no, even if it wasn't for like the whole like making them nicer or anything like that, or like just not having to worry about her ever getting pregnant. Although she was 100% a lesbian, a boy dog was never gonna get close to her. We were like, hey, we would definitely have to like have our dog fixed because we are not equipped to handle this.
Totally.
And so even having girl dogs, I was like, that's weird. And, like, I'm not, like, I don't know, hella comf. I'm not like, hey, let me get, like, all up in that shit on, like, either one of my girls' private parts. Like, that's theirs. And don't get me wrong, if you have, no matter what gender dog you have, you know their genitals and you become comfortable with it because it's the same as your kids where you, like, you have to make sure it's okay.
Yeah, totally.
So. I
think here's the thing, like you said, there's preferences either way. There's like pros and cons of both genders. Same as like there's pros and cons of owning a cat or owning a dog.
Yep.
It really just depends on your personal lifestyle. And if you're weird about it, that's fine. I'm weird about sauces not being where they're supposed to be. Yeah. Like it's one of those things that like, who cares? You're allowed to be like, I don't know if being weird about it is even like a thing. It's not weird to like have preferences or to care, you know? Yeah. Anyways. Because
like boy cats, love them. They're furry little balls. Love them.
Oh my
They're
God.
great.
When I told my friends and family, everyone sided with me. However, my boyfriend keeps sending me videos of the puppy, saying he doesn't know what to do with it because since his apartment doesn't allow pets, especially one that would grow so much, and he's begging me to take it just until he finds accommodations. He says that I owe him because he spent so much money on the puppy and was planning the puppy to live with me anyways. But I don't want the puppy. My current dog definitely wouldn't accept him, and in the videos I can already see how destructive he's becoming. On the other hand, the poor puppy is innocent. Destructive he is becoming, period. On the other hand, sorry, some Redditors don't write properly. On the other hand, the poor puppy is innocent in all of this. Should I just suck it up and keep him with me until my boyfriend, technically we haven't broken up yet, finds somewhere else to take him? Also, the puppy represents everything I don't want in a pet. I feel like he just bought himself a dog, but doesn't really want to take care of it, so he acted like the puppy was my birthday present. So, am I the asshole for refusing to accept the puppy? Should I just take him in for a while?
I'm sure everyone on there is going to agree that your boyfriend is the asshole for buying you a dog you did not ask for and did not want. And that, like, then his assumption is that dog's going to go live with you. Like, honey, for sure. I hope to God you've broken up with this man by now.
Totally.
And, like, again, break up with him and let him rehome that dog.
Absolutely. It's his responsibility.
His problem.
And as much of a bleeding heart that you have where it's like, obviously this person cares about pets and wants the best for this animal.
If that dog is not being abused, like, just let him handle it.
Yeah. Your boyfriend's a fucking asshole.
Hopefully X.
My mom once almost bought me a dog when I was going through it because we had just lost our family dog. and she thought that it would be a good idea to just buy me a new puppy.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very similar. That dog would have been her dog, actually, in a guise of being a present for me. Because guaranteed, if I had moved out and tried to take that dog with me, it would not fly. Yeah. Which is crazy because I'm sure she would have let me pay for the dog's vet bills and let me train the dog and do all the things with the dog.
Well, I mean, you trained the family dog.
I did, yeah, absolutely.
So she was like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah.
And that dog was closest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, oh, see, this is for you.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Mm-mm. There's an update to this story.
Yes! Update. We've broken up.
Okay. I didn't want to update before talking to both of my therapists and psychiatrists, but here we go. Mm-hmm. First of all, the puppy's fine. The day after my original post, my neighbor texted me around 2 p.m. because she heard loud noises from my apartment. She has a spare key, and she and Luna are besties and often go on walks when she works, because she works from home. And so she offered to check. Turns out the puppy was inside, and Luna was just sitting on the couch, glaring at the puppy like she was personally offended. I told my boss I had a family emergency and rushed home. My neighbor had been entertaining the puppy, but my apartment was trashed. Mm-mm. She agreed to take the puppy for a few hours while I cleaned. I realized a lot of the mess didn't look like it was the puppy. Some of the papers seemed sheared, and not a single tooth mark was found. I went to building management, and they showed me the camera footage. My ex-boyfriend walking in with the puppy, staying for 20 minutes, and leaving. I had them remove him from the visitor list, and they even offered to change my locks. I panicked a little and called my mom, who told me to either call my godfather or find a local shelter. My godfather told me he'd call his friends, many of whom have large breed experiences. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, my neighbor brought the puppy back, tired from the park, and thank God, I'll admit, he was adorable. A few hours later, my godfather called to say one of his friends, a German Shepherd lover with 2 already, wanted to adopt him. Puppy's name is Kai now, and apparently my godfather's friend has tons of experience training big breeds. So it sounds like they got a good home for it. Because big breed dogs, too, I will say require a very special, owner. Same thing with, any kind of owner, actually, small breed dogs, any dogs. But, with a big breed kind of dog that can really do damage to another human being if it's not trained, your dog could accidentally fuck you up. It's great that she found like someone who has experience with German Shepherds.
That's interesting because I never think about big breeds because we had like all different sizes, and I like our miniature dachshunds were more aggressive than any of our big dogs.
I think the reason why I think about like it's really important to like know how to handle a big breed of dog or like really train a big breed dog is because one of my best friends in high school had two German Shepherd or not German Shepherds, Huskies. And one of them would tear me up. Like she was like constantly jumping on me, clawing at me. And like, dude, I would like leave with like bruises and like fucking scratch marks from this animal. And I'm like, dude, oh my God, like you need to walk your dog. You need to figure something out. But like they just didn't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, yeah.
That's how Caboose feels about bulldogs now.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yep. Because they fucked him up.
Yeah.
So he feels like that about bulldogs.
Totally. Where it's like, nope. No, never again.
At this point, he just like, because that was so traumatizing for him, he like just doesn't like bulldogs.
Fair
It's
enough.
nuts because he loved bulldogs before that.
Yeah.
And that like experience of like a dog that's just like acts like an asshole.
Yeah. I love
like,
Huskies. I just like, again, I'm like, wow, you're the kind of person who is not meant to have a husky.
Why?
Like,
No, I think at that point, though, you're just not the type of person that's meant to have a dog.
Yeah, true.
Because they would let their small dog do it, too. It's just that small dogs, like, you notice less.
Yeah, you notice a lot less.
Yeah.
For sure. So anyways, as for my ex, I decided to call his mom because I had him blocked. She called and told him to come visit her the next day, and I went and talked it through. If you guessed, he was jealous of Luna. He wanted to move in with me. He thought Luna wasn't manly enough and that a German Shepherd would make me see reason. His plan was basically, I'd find that 2 dogs were too much work, and I'd get over my obsession with Luna by leaving her with my mom. Yes, really. His own mom told him that she was disappointed and that she didn't raise him to be sneaky and selfish. I told him that we were done and that Kai had already been rehomed to a loving family. He tried to get mad about me rehoming his dog in quotes, but I reminded him that the puppy was a gift and I could do whatever I wanted with him. I hugged his mom goodbye and haven't spoken to him since. I also talked this through with both my therapist and psychiatrist. I talked to them about the whole situation and both agreed separately that having a preference is not wrong, and as long as I'm not harming animals because of their sex, there is nothing wrong with not wanting them. Right now I'm at my mom's house with Luna, using some PTO to rest and recover. This whole thing was exhausting, but at least it ended with Kai in a good home and one less toxic boyfriend in my life.
Yes.
Yes, bitch.
Get rid of that man. Because holy shit. Also, how fucked up is it that then this man gives you a birthday present and you have to handle the fucking repercussions of it?
Yeah.
You have to get it rehoused. You're the one handling all of it. And he's over there just destroying shit in your place.
Also, he tried to tell her that she was sexist because she didn't want a boy dog, but in all reality, he doesn't
want a girl dog
because they weren't manly enough.
Well, that's the whole accusations are just projections. So it's like, yeah, because he's a sexist. He's like, you're being a sexist for not liking that. It's like, no, dude, you're a fucking piece of shit for not liking the fact that I already have a dog. And again, you think I'm going to get rid of my dog?
Oh, yeah. What the fuck?
Fuck off.
Can you believe that? Also, work. I love her ex-boyfriend's mom for being like, I didn't raise you to be sneaky and selfish. And just to say that to his face is crazy.
Yeah. I was talking to a client about that, about how much it would suck to have a dud for a kid.
Yeah, totally.
You spent all this time raising that person, investing in them, all the sleepless nights, all the amount of work that parents have to go through. And then he turns out to be a fucking piece of shit. That would suck so bad. It sucks for her that she had a boyfriend who's a piece of shit, but that would suck so bad as a mom to be like, are you fucking kidding me? This is it? I've wasted all those years of my life for you to be a fucking asshole. And
for you to be a dumbass too.
Oh, yeah.
In what play pretend world would you think that your girlfriend who's explicitly said oh yeah, just boy dogs aren't really my thing.
Also, that she has a dog.
She has a dog already. Also, pets are not gifts. Let's start from the very beginning. Pets are not fucking gifts. Do not gift a pet. Because one of the first things that I asked you about a surprise for my birthday, I said, and it's not a puppy. And I know I was smiling, but I also was like,
I would never give you a puppy.
Never. Because it is so expensive and it is a lifestyle change. Your life completely changes because now you're having to worry about not only taking care of yourself, but also taking care of another living being.
I also want to meet my animal myself.
Oh, totally. I don't want no control of a situation when it goes to we're gonna have this lifelong agreement of I'm owning this puppy.
Because what if I don't vibe? What if I think this puppy's adorable and this puppy's nah.
This dog's you're weird.
You are not my person.
Yeah, you're fucking weird.
I am meant to be outside all the time. I don't like sofas. And I don't want to watch movies with you.
Totally.
And I don't like cuddles. What if I end up with a dog that's fully independent and is I don't want to sleep in bed with you and I don't like soft fluffy things and I don't want cuddles 24/7.
Yeah.
That would be terrible. Or if I end up with a dog that wants to talk all the time, also terrible. Those would be the wrong fits for us.
Totally.
And that dog would be dude, bitch, get up. I do not want to fucking cuddle with you. I want you to take me out and walk me for 17 hours a day. I would be a horrible match for that dog. I still feel guilty of the fact that we didn't have a small baby for Waffles to be able to play with because Waffles loves kids.
It's okay. I was the baby.
That's true. You were.
Time, yeah. I was the baby, so it was fine.
That is true. But yeah, she loved kids.
Yeah, not the asshole. I love the update. I love update for Reddit stories.
That fucking dude.
Okay. This is hilarious because this has been labeled. So I guess you could label posts on Reddit, and the label underneath this says asshole poo mode. Okay, am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend to dress more sensibly on a walk? What do you think? First impressions.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't care where the fuck this is going. You're the asshole. I don't care what gender you are. You're the asshole. If she is cold, that's on her. Now, if she's cold and she's making it her problem or bitching about it, just ignore her. Or at that point, meh. I think that's the only reason. If it's hey, it is sub 3 degrees and before we left the house, again, I had the parameters with you.
I told you.
If you leave the house, I am not a hoe. Hoes don't get cold. I live cold. I am the opposite of a hoe.
Always cold.
Yeah, always cold. So therefore, if I do not dress appropriately, I'm not going to say shit. Totally. So that's the only way you're not an asshole is that if she was complaining about being whatever averse
Yeah.
But if you're like telling her out of any sort of like people are looking at you or you're cold and you didn't know it was going to be cold, you're an asshole.
Totally.
That's my take. What's your take first?
I think that
you got to pick a side, asshole or not asshole, and then you got to defend it.
I think this guy is an asshole because, yeah, I don't think that, like, dress more sensibly on a walk. I'm going to assume that it's just a walk. It's not like we're in Iceland and you had to make sure that you had 4 layers on your body at all times.
True. Yeah.
That's what I'm going to assume. I also, admittedly, this might be a me thing. I'm very sensitive about anybody telling their partner how to dress or what to do. I'm very sensitive about that because at the end of the day, you are there to witness them. And like, I personally am really sensitive, and I've had instances where significant others have told me that I look better with longer hair, or like I would look better with like less tattoos or like more tattoos or whatever the fuck. And like, to me, it is so...
I think you'd look better if you just blacked in your whole face.
Thanks.
You never had to worry about eyeliner.
You're right, huh? We never have to worry about makeup. Yeah, I think that like, I'm just so overly sensitive to it that like at the end of the day, like you just don't make any comments about what the fuck they're doing. You can make a comment about you look great. That's all you can make a comment about. That, or like, hey, the tag's sticking out. Like, I'm fine with that, but I'm just like overly sensitive.
Yeah, like it's that whole thing that I think it was like a kindergarten teacher, some sort of grade school teacher had said where it's like, you do not comment on the way people look unless they can fix it in 3 seconds.
Love that. Yeah.
So you have something on your face, you have something in your teeth.
Or if it's like, oh, hey, sorry, the vibes are actually more formal. Like, do you like? I just don't want it to be a thing, but like,
but that's
I forgot
like
to tell you, like, the vibes have to
only
be like,
if you can fix that.
Yeah.
Do you tell them?
Totally.
But like sensible, I'm like only if she's like consistently every day complaining about something, you can be like, hey, you know, you could be more sensible and wear a jacket because you are always cold.
Yeah.
But unless it's her bitching about like being cold all the time, you don't get to say shit. Totally. I stand with that. Okay, entertain me as I eat my big Dorito.
Yes, ma'am. My girlfriend and I, both 30 years old, go on this trail by the river sometimes. It's about an hour each way, and most people are in casual or sporty clothes. The first few times we did it, she wore a maxi skirt and high heels, and I felt like it was really out of place. I told her after the last time that next time she should dress more sensibly. She claimed it was fine, but it really is out of place, and even if she won't admit it, she definitely struggles, particularly at the end of the trail where it's not paved. Everyone looks at her, and she even gets a few comments, especially about the shoes, so I wonder if she does it for attention. We went out again recently, and she showed up in the same type of outfit. Long skirt, heels clicking on the ground, makeup done like we were going to dinner instead of a walk. I felt embarrassed walking next to her because everyone else was in athletic clothes, and she stood out. I reminded her that I already asked her not to dress like this for this specific activity. She told me I was being controlling and that she can wear whatever she wants. You are. I feel like she's deliberately ignoring what I said, but at the same time, I do not think it's unreasonable to expect her to fit the setting. Am I the asshole for saying something?
Yes.
Oh my
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first, you are indeed the asshole.
This is asshole poo mode.
Non-negotiable.
Asshole poo mode. Look, the first comment, she's not ignoring you, she's just not obeying you.
Oh my god, yes.
Work. She's been on this walk before. She knows what the experience will be like in these clothes. She chooses to wear them. The pros outweigh the cons for her, and that's her fucking choice. This poster didn't say fucking. I did.
But, like, again, whatever fucking shoes she decides to wear, let her wear. Whatever fucking outfit she wants to wear, let her wear it. And you don't control her fucking face.
I also think if you're uncomfortable with her...
That's your problem.
That's your fucking problem. Maybe don't be in a relationship then. At that point, like, again, this is the whole, like, loving someone is witnessing them. If something like that bothers you so fucking much, you need to sit down and say, actually, I don't want a partner that does these things.
Yeah, actually, I'm the problem.
Yeah.
I'm the asshole. I want a partner who fits this specific aesthetic, which again, you're allowed to have preferences. People are, I want a partner who is more athletic.
Totally.
So like I married someone who being athletic is a huge part of like our lives that we share. He likes a woman with more muscle. So he married me, a thing with more muscle.
Totally.
But like, you know, I think it comes down to you are an asshole if you're telling people like what to wear.
Yes.
And I just want to add a caveat as having been someone's wife since we were really young. Oftentimes you do have to tell your husband what to wear. But that's because we became their mom somewhere along the way. But if Caboose told me what to wear, I swear to God, I would lose my fucking mind. Because I tell him what to wear because I carry that mental load for him when he's like, is this okay? Is this appropriate? Because he oftentimes does not know the assignment. And even when I say that, like, this is like, I don't know, fancy queer, he doesn't know what that is. I know what that is. If I say, hey, we're going to drag show to you, you and I both know what that is. We say, what's the colors? Okay, done.
Yeah,
like, is there a theme? Done.
Yeah.
Caboose, if I give him the theme where it's like, okay, the theme for this is roast, and the colors are orange, yellow, and red, then he will be like, I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
So I will then just oftentimes help him pick out his clothes and be like, no, that's probably not the best thing. And that works great for us. But that's because he asks. And that's kind of the difference, is that, like, that is something that, again, coming back to that, like, roles in your relationship, if she didn't listen to you, it's because she doesn't give a fuck what you have to say, and you're wrong. Because if she can hike in heels, as we have, you know, a fucking new bestie who can do anything in heels.
She can literally carry a 6'7" man in heels. Like, it's not our place to tell her what to wear.
No, you want to wear a mini skirt, heels, and a fluffy jacket all the time?
That commenter
fucking
said,
fierce.
Yeah, that commenter said she knows what to expect. She's been on the trail multiple times. You're just embarrassed because she doesn't fit the aesthetic. That's her aesthetic. Who fucking cares?
And
she clearly wants a partner that fits the status quo of, like, this is what, like, I don't know. If everyone's wearing this is what I expect you to wear. And if your girlfriend doesn't want to live her life by those standards, then
she can be our friend.
She can be our friend. Yes,
she can be
adopt
our friend.
her. Because honestly, you suck.
Yeah, because, like, again, I'm not trying to look like everyone else. Yeah. I'm your girlfriend in that situation. Totally. Now, am I going to hike in a maxi skirt? No, because I'm not that cool. Yeah. I'm going to wear pants. But, like, damn, dog, if I saw, like, and again, that's your insecurity, because if I saw someone hiking in a maxi skirt, my first thought is, did someone punk her? Because I have been taken on a hike when I did not know I was going to be taken on a hike and was not wearing the appropriate shoes, appropriate outfit, anything. And what I mean by appropriate is what I would have felt comfortable wearing on a hike.
Totally.
So I was wearing hard jeans and they were not correct. Whereas, like, in that case, I would have preferred to have been wearing a maxi skirt because at least I could have fucking moved around in it. But I was wearing, like, standing up pants only, not scrabbling pants. And there were solid parts of this hike where we were scrabbling. And I was wearing very, like, shoes that were very slick, like Converse. So I was not prepared for this.
Yeah, totally.
So my first instinct would be that she has been, like, tricked, that she did not know this was the correct, like, this was a hike. But seeing as what you described, she sounds like she looks great. Yeah. I am for sure going to tell her that she looks great. Yeah, because at the very worst case scenario, you tricked her into being like, we're going on a cute date. She shows up like that. You take her on a hike and she's like, I feel uncomfortable because I don't blend in, whatever. Then at least she knows that she looks good. And then if she's, like, intentionally like, bitch, I want to look good and this is what I feel comfortable in, I'm so happy to, like, wear this on a hike, then I'm even happier telling her, hey, you look great, because that means that I appreciate your effort. Yeah. And I appreciate that, again, you don't need to conform, because that's stupid. I don't want to wear, like, LL Bean when I'm hiking. I'm usually just in, like, leftover gym clothes or Caboose's clothes or just a sports bra.
I think my thing is like, I'm always excited to see a surprise diva.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And to me, like, people like that are like, beacons of fashion and beacons of, like, also, like, work. Like, well, I'm so excited. Beacons of authenticity.
Yeah. I don't dress up when we would go to, like, Disney and stuff, but then I would see somebody who's, like, in full goth. Yeah. And I'm like, I fucking love you 100%. So much.
Yes.
You got up at 6 o'clock this morning and did full fucking drag before you came to the park. Yeah. And now you're on fucking roller coasters with, like, 4 sets of lashes and black lips.
Love.
Icon.
Yep.
Like, anyone, I guess that's probably the thing, is that if she looked comfortable in those clothes, I would just be like, you're my fucking hero.
Yeah, totally.
And if she doesn't look comfortable, I'm like, someone lied to you about where you're going.
She's that diva.
But you're a fucking asshole for controlling what anyone wears.
I agree. 100%. Okay. Are you ready for one more? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this one also came with a label. The label is everyone sucks. So I thought it would be interesting.
Everyone sucks.
Okay. Am I the asshole for yelling at my family, including my 87-year-old grandfather, and telling them to shut the hell up before leaving the country with my wife and kid? Can't wait.
Okay.
I'm 33, married with a toddler and another baby on the way. We came to stay with my family in France for 3 months, partly to get support during the pregnancy, partly to say goodbye before relocating to Asia, Cambodia, or somewhere else. We've been here 1 month, and things are going downhill fast. My wife is kind and had a rough childhood with a narcissistic mom and emotionally absent dad. She values emotional safety more than anything. I tend to keep everything inside until I blow up. My family, well-meaning but exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
My mom constantly comments on our parenting. Bibs, tantrums, naps, and food. Even though I've asked her several times to stop, my 87-year-old grandfather makes rude remarks without realizing. Recently, he said that my wife's mom should be locked in a cage because she spends all the money while the dad works at 70 with cancer. My dad tries to help by criticizing me and saying that I'm unstable because I don't have a house and a regular 9-to-5 job. I freelance. I support my family. We've always rented. My little brother stays silent. His fiancée vents to my wife about how toxic the atmosphere is, but never says anything in front of the family.
Ugh.
My wife finally broke down. She cried alone in our room. I tried to keep it cool, but I couldn't. That day, after one more comment from my grandpa and another passive jab from my mom, I snapped. I told everyone to shut up, that they were ruining everything, that no one could breathe around them, that even my brother's fiancée and my wife talk about how unbearable it is. I say we all walk on eggshells, and it's making us mentally drained. My grandmother looked heartbroken. I almost got into a fight with my mom's husband when he got in my face. Now I feel like I destroyed everything. I'm the only one who exploded, so I look like the problem. My brother stays quiet and keeps the peace. I tell the truth, but now I'm the villain. My wife supports me, but she says I still care too much about how they feel. And she's right, I do. Because I don't think that they're bad people. They're just emotionally clumsy. They gave me what they could. They're not as cruel, just intense and clueless, but my wife sees them as beyond repair. So now I don't know. Should I leave the country like this after blowing everything up, or stay a few more weeks and pretend everything's fine just to leave in peace, even if it drains my wife? I tried talking to my mom. She's sad. She says she doesn't understand why it's this bad. Brings up how much my grandparents helped us, but she won't talk directly to my wife, only through me. And my wife won't even hear her name now. Honestly, in my perfect world, we'd all sit down, talk openly, set boundaries, apologize, and leave with peace. But maybe that's just wishful thinking. Am I the asshole for snapping? Am I the asshole for still hoping that we can fix at least a bit of this before leaving? Because right now I feel like I'm losing both sides and no one even sees it.
Aw, you married your mom. Both of them are avoidant to the other person. You can't mention your mom's name to your wife, and your mom won't talk to your wife. You just married your mother.
Mm.
Yeah, and you just married your mom, but they have different sets of values of what matters to them.
Mm-hmm.
But neither one of them are like working towards a resolution. Personally, you're an asshole if you stay, because just staying for a couple weeks and pretending that it's going to be okay is not actually like a solution, and doesn't do anything where you're like setting boundaries or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the other, I think that's again that whole like misconstrued idea of boundaries, that you think that it means sitting down and discussing these boundaries with someone, whereas instead it just means you telling them, hey, if you make comments about my wife, we're gonna leave the room. And that's it. And whatever your grandpa wants to do with that, that's on him. If he wants to make like shitty comments, then you leave the room. Boundaries are about like giving you the space to like leave if you don't like how someone else is acting. It is not to then come and be like, hey, you can do this, you can't do that. It's to say, this is what I'm willing to put up with in a relationship. And by saying, hey, I want to stay, and like that way I can leave in peace, you're not actually in peace, and you're just harming your wife and your children.
Yeah.
If the environment is toxic. So I think you're an asshole for staying. I don't think you're an asshole for blowing up. I think that that's like how you learned how to communicate, and that's definitely something that you should like work on when it comes to like communication of like bottling things up, because again, that's a form of like avoidance, where you're like, I'm just going to avoid this until I reach this like tipping point, and then I'm going to explode, which means that you are not addressing things when they happen in real life, which is avoiding holding other people accountable, because you don't want the possible negative response of being like, hey, grandpa, I understand. So like whatever it is that you deem to be inappropriate, because again, I will give that caveat, that I definitely didn't give as much in my 20s as I do in like my like damn near 40s, is that times are different. And yes, before you're like, well, I mean, we all have the internet. We all know. And like, we're all existing in these times now. You get a very solid idea of like your thoughts, beliefs, and like structure of how the world looks at a pretty early age. So by the time you hit your 20s, you're like, this is the world I live in. And if you're like, no, that doesn't really work, then let me tell you to go out and not repeat your parents' relationship. You don't do that. You absolutely go out in this world and you have to deal with the trauma that you got in childhood. So it works the same way. So if your grandpa is saying something that like in his time was not necessarily seemed offensive or shitty, or like, you know, that's what his version of joking is, then you can have those gentle conversations of like, hey, when you say that, that's what this means now in this time that we exist. As opposed to just being like, you're being offensive. Like, I have to have those conversations with my dad. You have to have those conversations with me to be like, that's not what that word means anymore. Not that I'm out here saying like, you know, fucking insane shit, but like you'll like say a word and I'm like, I don't know what that means in this context. Like, what does that mean to your generation? And I oftentimes, because I built those like neural pathways so deep, I'm like, this is stupid. And then I have to be like, no, we are ever evolving and ever changing as a society, which means you have different rules than what I grew up with. You live in a different world than what I grew up with. That's a really hard thing to contend with. So especially when you get older, and he spent way more time without the internet, way more time in that his world was solidified. Your world is constantly changing. Your grandpa's world changed a lot less. And it's not to say that it's okay for people to say like unhinged shit, for them to say racist or sexist or whatever the fuck shit. But we do have to look at that with that caveat of we have to gently bring them up to date on stuff.
Educate them.
Yeah.
Instead of like, again, like the only thing that OP is doing that's like, I shouldn't say the only thing, but one of the biggest things that OP is doing is just also kind of playing into that cycle of not saying anything, not saying anything, not saying anything. The only difference between him and his brother is that he reaches that boiling point, whereas his brother just buries it and harbors resentment. So
yeah,
that's like two different kinds of, like you said, avoidance, right? So you're either going to blow up and have it be a big thing, or it's going to silently go off with like not a bang but a whimper for your brother, you know?
Yeah.
So it's one or the other for the two of you. Both of you are basically like two sides of the same coin.
Yes.
It's just different chemical reactions. I don't think he's an asshole for like thinking that like he could sit down and like everyone could apologize and make the peace. Like there's always a part of, no matter how much healing you've done, that wishes that that could have happened. But like it seems like his wife is being pretty clear on like, especially if she's had like, you know, experience in being in emotionally unsafe environments. It's not like they're lost causes. It's one of those things of like you either enable these people by staying or you leave them entirely. So it's like hard, right, to come to terms with that. It sounds like he's in the very early stages of realizing like this relationship is no longer working out for me.
Yeah. And I kind of am with the wife there, that I believe like in lost causes, like yours is a very like beautiful, gentle way of being like, hey, they're not. The reason that to me is because like, if the mother doesn't want to have a conversation with the wife, and again, I go the other way where it's like, you shouldn't just respect people because you're older than you. Totally. I believe that as a person who has more experience of years on this planet, because I don't think that the amount of years you've been alive dictate the amount of experience you have, but as someone who's been around longer, which means we've had more opportunities for experience, it is on us as like older people, like if I'm talking to a teenager, or even like with you, it is on me because I have more experience of the amount of years I've lived, which I don't want to say I have more experience. I need to fucking correct that. I've had more opportunities for experience than you have. So therefore it's on me to come and have a conversation with you. I do not think it is on the daughter-in-law to have a conversation with the mother.
Totally. Yeah.
It's on the mother. And if the mother's not willing to have that conversation with her, then yeah, it is a lost cause at this point. It doesn't mean it's lost forever. But it means right now, we can't find that cause. We don't know where she is.
Yeah.
She's not in this room.
I think it is like also part of conflict resolution that a lot of people disagree on is I wish we could just smash this out now versus I think we need time to like all settle down before we do anything.
100%.
So a lot of people disagree with this a lot. Like it's either one or the other. I'm of the opinion that like you said, it's not a lost cause forever. It might not be. But right now, we need some space.
Right now, she is not in the room. We don't know where she is. She is outside lost.
Yeah.
She's wandering in the woods somewhere. We don't know her.
Yeah. It takes a while to like, again, when multiple people are triggered like that for any of those emotions to settle down. And sometimes it takes like years. And sometimes it takes people's entire lives.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll never let go of a grudge, but that's kind of on them. To be able to settle down enough and to see both sides, because I do think that it takes time and like also like work to be able to shorten the length of like, okay, I'm triggered to now I can like respond instead of react.
Well, and I think that's what the time is. I don't think it takes time as in it's the whole thing of like, just because I've been on Earth doesn't mean I've had more experiences. It means I've had more opportunities. And that during that time, I don't think if you just walk away and you just like do not do anything to process it, do not do any of the work around like, what are the systems within my family? What are these communication styles? How am I going to repeat this with my own children? What's going on with my grandpa? Like all of that. If you don't do the work in that time, then the next time you talk to them, no time has passed.
Yeah.
You could have not spoken to them for 5 years. Nothing has happened because neither one of you have addressed this. I think that only happens if both parties are indeed in that time frame working on it. And that's where that time like matters, because I do not have the insights currently that I would have in a year from now because I'm still thinking about this. Not just because I'm like, oh, I have no idea. That makes no sense to me. And I never thought about it. And I didn't ever change my perspective or opinion or broaden my perspective and opinion. So I think that's the only caveat I would add is that like, it's not just like, hey, it takes time, but like in that time, it takes that work that you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why like it takes time. Because like when you and I have conflict, like we do have to have time apart. And then we can come back and be like, okay, so A, now I'm not heated. And B, this is what I'm thinking. And I think maybe this is where you're coming from. And that we've not just spent that whole time not thinking about it.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that's the important part is like we spent time working
like
on it.
Like intentionally working on it, but separately.
Yes.
You know, and I think that's a big thing that people disagree on because a lot of people, again, they just want to put out the fire right then and there. But if you don't have the like tools to do so, then you're just going to make it worse. Or it's going to seem like the fire's put out, but in all reality, there's still embers.
Well, I mean, that's what he wants to do. He just wants to act like it's fine, which means it's not actually fine.
Totally.
You're just pretending that it's fine. And then you're going to be like, okay, but now it sucks still.
Like, but
and like as someone who did that in their family for years and was married to someone who did that, like we absolutely were like, whatever, just act like it's cool. And then like I've noticed, and like I'm sure we can talk about this, but like we've noticed that like we still have that tendencies in our relationship to just be like, it's fine. And then that's something we have to actively work against. Be like, wait, actually, this does hurt my feelings. Like we've been friends for years and we're just now like getting to that place where like different stuff that we're uncovering to be like, oh, hey, when you did that, it hurt my feelings. And you're like, oh my God, no, I was in my own head about this. And I'm like, I was in my head.
Totally.
And then we can see where the other person is. And so it's like, if you're not willing to both come there and be like, hey, I want to understand your side of this. Like if you're constantly criticizing my like parenting, I want to know why you're criticizing my parenting and also that you're going to hold space for me being like, hey, that hurts my feelings.
Yeah. Or like you have to hold space for people to be able to have the reaction. Because at the end of the day, like emotions are like hard to control, you know?
Yeah.
And like, even if they're criticizing in a way of like, oh, we're just trying to like tell you that there's a better way to do this. People still need to be okay with the other person have a reaction of like shame or guilt or like, oh my God, like you're being really fucking annoying. But then like having that reaction settle down and enough to come full circle and be like, okay, you're not attacking me. Again, this is trying to be productive.
Yes.
So,
and again, being that person that can be like, hey, like I can see where that would feel like attacking and that's not my intention.
Exactly. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Just because it's not my intention does not mean that that's not how you feel.
Exactly.
And that your feelings in this situation are valid because I understand that can feel like attacking.
Yeah, totally.
And like really like holding space for that. Which, okay, wait, that leads me to the very last thing. I mentioned it last podcast.
Yes.
I had a little epiphany talking to Caboose the other day. And it kind of like leads into this, where it's that like making sure that you're not following like just the like strategies of what they teach you online when it comes to conflict resolution.
Yes.
But also understanding the like gender differences or even the like role differences in relationships. Are you cold? Do you need a blanket?
No.
Okay. It's
my
like
lower
chilly in
back
the
hurts,
house.
so that's why I'm like shifting.
This will be quick, and then we'll give it to him. So I was talking to Caboose about like a school project and noticed that he tends to have the same exact like thing happen every time he does like a group project. So I was asking him of like, okay, so like, why do you think this is happening? Like, what's going on? Do you think that maybe like speaking up like this could help? Or do you think like pointing this out can like help with the situation? Like, really dissecting it, or what to me feels like dissecting it and like helping like, or for me understanding the project and like the problem, so that way I can help him understand the problem that constantly repeats. And for him, all he wanted to do was vent. And we had to figure out what each person's meaning of venting was. Because he was like, all I wanted to do was vent. And I'm like, yeah, I'm venting with you. Like, I'm trying to like understand this. And he's like, no, you're arguing with me, because any sort of questions feels like pushback. And if you are a woman and you're like, oh my God, this is literally me every time I talk to my fucking boyfriend, is that like, if I ask him a question, he's like, so you're saying this is my fault? You're saying I'm doing this to myself? I'm creating my own problems? It's because for men, a lot of times, any question about like what's happening, or even if you just don't understand it, feels like pushback, and pushback means confrontation, which to them means you think they're responsible for feeling that way, or that they are not allowed to feel that way. Because that was something that Caboose said to me, where he's like, so I basically create a situation where I feel this way. I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. So I realized that the difference between venting between like women, which will oftentimes sound to people like it's what they would describe as gossip, and the difference between venting to people as men is that when women vent, I'm going to take you on a little analogy here.
I'm so excited for this.
It is the same as if I were to take my purse, my non-existent purse, because I don't carry one, and I empty it out on the table and I say, hey, this is my phone, and my phone's pink, and like my phone is being stupid right now, and then this is like my lip gloss, and this is my like, I don't know, my Kit Kat bar. I'm saying that because you ate a Kit Kat earlier.
I love Kit Kats.
And I'm trying to think about what would go in a purse, and besides like lip gloss, phone, and a Kit Kat bar, I don't actually know what goes in a
wallet?
purse. Oh, sure, yeah, that thing. So then I'm like, hey, and that's it. And I'm like describing them to you, and I'm like, my phone's pink, and like it's crazy, and sometimes I leave it places. And if you were a dude, you would just then repeat back to me and say, your phone is pink, you sometimes leave it places. And you'd be like, hell yeah, I'm nailing active listening. And I would be like, okay.
You're like,
but
yeah, you just repeated.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add to that? Like, yeah.
Because if you're talking to your girls and you're talking to people who want to like dive in deep, when I'm like, yeah, my phone's like doesn't always work right, they would then be like, oh my God, wait, what's wrong with your phone?
Or
is it
like,
broken? Did you drop it?
Have you
like,
considered that maybe like the reason why you leave it places is because it's pink? Because you have so many pink things that like it's kind of hard to like keep track of it. Like that's women venting to each other. Is
that you give me a different perspective.
Yes.
Because where you're asking me questions and I'm like, oh my God, you're right. Because I have so many pink stuff that it can just like, the whole reason, FYI, why my phone is pink now is because when it was black, I would lose it so many places. So I went with a pink case, not only because it fits the brand, but because then I lose it less places. And so like, again, that's like one of those great things that like was pointed out to me. So when women vent, it's because we are talking to people about, like, we're basically opening up the dialogue to be like, give me your perspectives. Tell me all about the stuff that you see in my purse.
Yes.
That, like, agree with me that, like, yes, your phone is pink.
Yeah.
But then, like, ask me questions or be like, do you think it's this? Because we are trying to gain different perspectives. And when you have that time that you're telling your friend, like, your friend is like, oh my God, my purse is pink. My phone is pink. I have lip gloss. And they're like, okay. Yeah, you have those things and it doesn't like feel good. And you're like, oh, I don't feel seen. It's because they didn't like dissect those pieces with you. But you put it perfectly, which was that men do not want like someone to like go through all of your purse with you and analyze it and give you different perspectives. They want fans.
Mm-hmm.
They want someone who's just going to listen to them, which is oftentimes why when you tell your boyfriend all about information, they're not asking you questions because they think that active listening is just repeating back exactly what you said to you, like what you said to them. So they're like, yeah, it's pink. You have lip gloss. Like, absolutely. And it feels so like vapid and empty because you're like, do you not care? And it was a huge like shift for me. I was like, you think that venting is just you complaining about your problems.
Yeah.
Whereas venting, i.e. what is known as gossiping when women do it, is you're telling me about your problems and I am here to give you a full fucking breakdown of like, why do you think these problems are happening? Yes, you are valid for feeling these problems. Mm-hmm. Maybe this could be like, this is a pattern I've noticed. Mm-hmm. Like, we are here to do a full fucking breakdown of the whole thing.
Yes.
And men see any sort of question as they are not allowed to feel that way.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's what I realized was that, like, I want people going through my fucking purse with me.
Yeah.
And Caboose didn't want me to go through his purse.
Well, yeah, because like, the main difference between friends and fans is the fact that like your friends are going to tell you things that you may not have considered and or may not like in the moment. That's a real like reality check of perspective of like, listen, I know that it was going to feel so good about venting this. And like, I'm sure you imagine that it was going to feel so good because like I was going to hype you up. But then friends are the people that are going to say, hey, like, you know, you could do this instead of harboring resentment.
Yes.
Like, hey, that's like, this is an opportunity to set boundaries because like, again, like you're avoiding things or like, and that's hard to hear, you know, because like you want your friends.
It's also hard to say.
Yeah, for sure. And it's hard to say. And you want your like, again, in this situation, like you would like for people to be like, yeah, fuck that shit. Like, you know, like hyping you up. But that's a fan thing to do.
Yes.
Your fans are always going to hype you up and steer you in whatever crazy direction that you want to steer yourself in. Your friends will tell you the hard truth.
Again, I'm a fan of Britney Spears, which means every chaotic video she posts,
don't care what she posts. You're like, I love it.
Yeah. I'm here for it. It's amazing. And I am your friend, which again, I think this is one of those that if you're thinking like, well, I want my friends to just listen to me, then you don't want friends.
You want fans.
You want fans.
Yeah, totally.
Your friends are people, or your partner is someone that you're choosing to do life with, which means you want their perspective. Whether or not you like their perspective, you want to hear it. So that way you can make sure they're the correct friend and like person for you.
Totally.
But also like letting them have space. Otherwise, like you're just turning this person into a fan if you're only expecting for them to listen to you and not be like, hey, I'm half of this conversation. I'm just supposed to repeat back what the fuck you say to me. So like, bitch, sort through my purse with me.
Yeah.
I want you to just be like, yeah, that's a cute purse. Okay, fan.
Okay, and?
Yes.
Totally.
So that was my thing.
I thought that was amazing. I'm really glad that you were able to share it on the podcast.
Thanks. Okay, so win for the week.
Win for the week has to be doing a bunch of laundry.
Oh, you did knock through a ton of laundry.
I have not put it away yet, but yes,
that's okay. That's a lot. It's a lot to put away.
Thank you. It is a lot.
My win for the week is not going to the gym.
Fuck yeah.
Just like I'm about to make this bitch watch a horror movie.
Yay! Yeah. I can't wait.
I need to watch. I need to be comfy cozy and watch a horror movie.
Me too. I need to be comfy cozy. It's been a day.
It has been a day. It's been 2 days. This weekend has been nuts.
It's been crazy, and it's only gonna get crazier.
It is. We're about to hit busy season again.
Yeah,
we get like these little lulls, and then we hit like a crazy amount of stuff.
Yeah, where we take off the ground running for sure.
Okay, number one thing
that you're proud of.
I'm proud of.
Yes.
Is what am I? I don't fucking remember what today was.
Today's Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday. What did I do? Fuck, dude. I recorded a podcast. Woo! I don't remember. I can't remember what just happened an hour ago. I started this podcast high and now I'm not high. That's what I'm proud of.
There you go. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I did that for my last episode. Caboose said you packed up the shop.
One thing I'm proud of for today is not ordering out food.
Wow, it's not too late.
And it's not too late. I've been thinking about getting a pizza. I'm not gonna lie.
Bitch,
But-
I would fuck up a pizza right
Me
now.
too. Don't encourage me.
Whatever, we'll just put veggies on it. It'd be fine.
There you go.
Oh, I miss Lou pizzas.
Lou pizzas are lit. I have pictures of Lou pizzas
Yeah.
somewhere. So yeah.
Where it's just a mountain of veggies on like a flatbread with a little bit of like sauce.
We need to
and
make
fat-free
pizzas
cheese.
again. We need.
Fuck, I miss fat-free cheese.
Okay, New Zealand. That's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I really need you guys to get a hold of fat-free cheese and start making it, because everyone always talks about being really big in the dairy industry, but we don't have fat-free cheese. And why are the cottage cheese containers so fucking small?
Yeah, I need a big cottage cheese container.
Yes.
Also, I think it's interesting that they say that it's low fat, and I was looking and it's like
Regular.
0.1. No, it's like no fat in that thing.
Oh, is
the low
it?
fat, it's like 0.1,
Oh, okay, work.
0.1 grams. And so I was like, you guys, this counts as fat free.
Yeah.
But I do need some fat free cheese. That would be great.
Please. I will say
Because-
I am pleasantly surprised though. Bread here, like the nutrition
Okay,
is so different.
I love
here.
you. You make such a big deal out of this, but it's literally 2 grams of protein higher, which is not enough to move the fucking needle.
I'm over here like, it means a
when
lot to
you
me.
need 90 grams of protein in a day,
Yeah,
or in my
totally.
case, I need 125 grams of protein. 2 extra grams, that ain't moving the needle shit.
It does it means a lot
So
to me.
that to
specifically
me is not. Yeah.
Don't take this away from me. It means a lot to me.
Okay, I'm just saying, don't lie to people and tell them, because again, I had every product that was high protein. I had like protein bread that had 14 grams of protein in it. I had fucking fat-free cheese that was all just protein and fucking that was it. Protein,
Just
no
protein.
fat. Like I had so many ways to get protein in, and like it's a little different because you're eating meat now, so you have that source of protein.
That's true, yeah.
But I have no other sources of protein here.
It is. Maybe that's why it's a lot easier for me now.
Yeah.
Too. Like I'm able to.
Do you just realize that?
I literally just clocked that.
That you
I'm like, wow, I'm like hitting these like a lot faster than I thought I would. That's crazy.
No, their
Oh, my
vegetarian
Lord.
protein sources here are genuinely shitty.
Yeah, that sucks.
Like it's hard to like put on muscle and be a vegetarian here.
Mhm, totally.
And before you say shit, I've already joined like Facebook groups, and like these guys don't help either. And I can only drink or eat like so many grams of egg whites in a fucking day, and it's not like
Absolutely.
long-term sustainable. Whereas in the States, I had tons of like
Options.
high protein options that simply do not exist here, especially for like balanced ass prices. Because I'm not paying like $7 for a bag of protein chips when it's like snack size.
It's so crazy.
And I ate those like damn near every day in the States.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, that's the hardest part.
I miss those chips.
That's my not win for the day.
Maybe we find. Okay. Anyways, we'll save this for after the podcast. maybe we make our own protein chips. Just find a recipe.
Oh, bless.
I know, right?
That's a whole extra thing. But on that note, if you hung around for all like hour and 20 minutes, thank you so much. I hope you had fun listening to us brain rot essentially with us. You just brain rotted with us.
Yep.
And listening to us ramble on about people on the internet. So we'll see you guys back next week.
We love you.
And we love you so much. Like, subscribe, share, all the shit that you're supposed to do if you're like a fan
Yep.
or a friend. And be my friend and give me your perspectives on my opinions. Bye!
Bye, bye, bye.